Hmm. Simple solution. And these can even have speed or productivity modules. I could research them now. And make them also. That'd be such a huge power drain. And we're already draining so much power. I should probably see to fixing the power situation right now. Oh yes, for making boilers I actually need those regular stone furnaces back. And there. Now notice that solid fuel is really the only kind of fuel remaining. Also, I devised a method for compacting these even further. That should help. There. And now... some of these are also ready now. So now, instead of having gaps in between them, I can just have the power lines run on the front and back at all times. Both. There. Problem solved. And now that it's so much more compact, we can have more power per area. And it doesn't look like we're even running out of water. Oh, and there's also something else I can do. I can have this same type of setup running on the opposite side. And if I make this fuel line extra wide, too wide, 2 tiles wide that is, then that would have a double throughput effect, which would allow for twice the size of this installation. Look at the size of it already. Now that might become a problem. When we have lasers and construction robots, few things will be a problem anymore, really. Yes. That should fix most of the current problems. However, we are also still seeing the effects of the one problem where, yes, we're not producing any electric engines, of course. That's a problem. And thus no flying robot frames. That's a problem. Also no batteries. That's a problem. So there should be one module for flying robot frames that also diverts to making both types of robots in 2 separate branches. What else is going to be necessary? In order to... oh yes, these science packs. These are both the two top priorities. Oh, and of course, guess what? The more advanced utility science packs require flying robot frames, and so that larger module will be a smaller module within this one, which this one also requires processing units and low density structures, which are also hyper complex recipes, all of which culminating into one large problem, which is monumental in size. And you know what? The module for this production facility will probably be as big as all of the rest of the things we have already combined. So we're probably going to need to put it somewhere like over here, out of the way. Before that, we should probably research these. And before we can do that, we need to bring the bricks down. And before that, we need to upgrade the brick facility, or the brick module here, to not run on coal anymore, to be electric. And we don't currently have enough furnaces to do that with. I'm just going to finish upgrading this first before doing anything else. Unless something gets in the way, like that. I'm going to need to upgrade this. Oh, that's much more steel than I need. And have this be here. There. I'm probably going to need a whole module just for electric furnaces. Well, one thing I can do right now is just set up the rest of this balance system. At each one of these branches. There. For a moment I forgot the controls for the hotbars. Oh yes, and steel, of course. All of them. If I see a branch, it needs to be controlled. Like this one. And of course these are also going to need these parts here Yes, on all three of these. Coal, I don't care about yet. Honestly, it's not that large of a concern. And I can finish setting these up as well. And I just replace the variable quite simply with the correct one here. And for iron, copy this into all of those. I prefer not to begin that laborious task until I've finished wiring the branches together. Oh, I almost missed one. And very important not to miss any. That could cause problems. It looks like they're all wired correctly. Now for steel. I might as well start here. That looks like everything. Yeah, very well. Now that that system is complete, things will be much more reliable. The only difficult part remaining is making sure to maintain the system so that it itself doesn't fall apart. Now I'm going to need to go back for the advanced circuits again. Not having a brick belt on the main bus, I feel, is going to become a growing problem. Well, actually, we don't just need a brick belt, we need a whole stone belt. Because some of these things, like the concrete, require stone in order to be constructed. So the stone would need to be refined on-site into bricks with electric furnaces, which is actually simple now. The only real problem is getting rid of the modules that are in the way of the new belt. What is something we can do instead until we get to that point? The military science packs will require that upgrade, which is why I haven't done that yet. We do actually have one of the three components we need everywhere. That's easy. One of the other two components can be easily assembled anywhere from the main bus. The final component needs stone, which is only up here right now, and getting it anywhere will be a trial because of everything in the way. I never planned for this. That was a mistake. trying to think of any way I can fix that without overhauling everything. And I don't think there is. So instead, I should just make flying robot frame module. And it looks like we already have everything we need for that. Water. I forgot water is probably going to need to be something we have on the main bus, since it's required for making batteries. Here, see. And also here. In both cases. This area looks reasonable for making these frames. We will need every resource on the main bus currently in order to produce these. The only exception that would have existed would be stone, but since we don't have that lane yet, it's not something to be taken into account. And so, one branch for each of these here to give enough of an alley there for later. And of course all of these will need their own balancers. Except for coal. We don't care about coal right now. There, all 4 resources. Coal goes to the sulfur component. The battery component, which it feeds into, will require both copper and iron. The electric engine unit will require both copper and iron also. The electronic circuit component will require copper and iron. The electric engine unit and the final product will both require steel. Batteries are the only thing in this that doesn't require steel, but it requires sulfur, which needs coal. This is going to be more complicated than usual. Sulfur is going to require water, which isn't on the main bus yet, which is a mistake that I made. There are a lot of mistakes here in retrospect, so this is going to require both lubricant and petroleum. And so we can make 2 branches here from those. There. And so these will be access ports for those 2 now. We have everything we need right here in order to produce the final product, except for water. I can go fix that right now though. No serious problem. From right here. Yes, I can just bring it straight through this module. And through here. And furthermore, through all of here. This can be run on the coal side. Not enough room to go through that way. Fortunately, it's simple to just go around. The one unfortunate side effect is that many underground pipes so close together. Very inefficient. Very costly. And now I need to go resupply on those pipes. I'm going to need more belts also. We don't have any shortage of arms, thankfully. There. Now we have the final component necessary in this access port. So we need to combine these two to produce the batteries, and the lubricant will need to be used for the engine, the electric engine. There should be a circuit production component somewhere separate from the rest of it as a sort of local centralized circuit producer that will route their circuits to everything else. Now this is going to be such a mess. It's going to be this big probably. So actually... we can make junctures like that. Yeah, I should save the rest of this for later. This is another episode thing to do.